Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at how AI is changing the world of content creation and influencing.
Hmm.
We're diving into a YouTube interview with Dom Ashburn,
Great.
also known as Mr. Grateful.
Yeah.
This guy's an AI influencer who got 100,000 followers in just 22 days.
Wow.
And get this, he did it by using AI as his, well, you could call it his agent.
Interesting.
So, in this deep dive, we're going to unpack how AI can help you create awesome content and stay ahead of the curve in this crazy tech-driven world.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dom's story is a wild one.
Yeah.
He drops out of design school, builds a waffle stand, starts his own agency, and then bam, he's an AI influencer.
Right.
Not exactly the usual path to success.
Yeah, totally. It's like he took the scenic route, but it obviously led him to something amazing.
Yeah.
And it all seems to trace back to this wow moment he had as a kid.
Okay.
He built the 3D model for a school project
Mm-hmm.
while everyone else just had like simple drawings.
Right.
You can imagine the impact that had on a young mind, that feeling of standing out,
Yeah.
of inspiring awe in others.
Totally. But there's this other turning point in his journey that I found really interesting.
Okay.
A family member actually questioned his ambition, told him to focus on something more realistic.
Right, like maybe stick to waffles.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
But that criticism actually had the opposite effect. Instead of shutting him down, it pushed him to stop talking about his big dreams and just go for it.
Wow.
I bet that resonates with a lot of our listeners who've been told their ideas are too out there.
Absolutely. It's about trusting your gut and having the courage to pursue your vision even when others doubt you.
100%.
Now, when it comes to AI, Dom has a perspective that's quite refreshing.
Yeah.
Instead of buying into the whole AI is going to take over the world narrative, he's super optimistic about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like he's choosing to focus on the potential good that AI can bring, rather than getting bogged down by all the doom and gloom. He even compares it to a roller coaster ride.
Oh.
If we're so fixated on the potential dangers,
Yeah.
we might miss out on the thrill of the ride itself.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It encourages us to approach AI with a sense of curiosity and wonder without letting fear hold us back.
Right.
But Dom's approach goes beyond just being optimistic. He actually applies the scientific method to his life,
Really?
focusing on asking questions and experimenting
Yeah.
rather than chasing fixed goals.
Wait, hold on. The scientific method, like the stuff we learned in high school,
Yeah,
how does that even apply to personal growth and, becoming an influencer?
that's the beauty of it.
Okay.
Dom takes this structured approach and uses it to test his ideas,
Mm-hmm.
learn from his mistakes, and constantly iterate.
So he's not afraid to fail.
Exactly. He's
Word.
not afraid to put himself out there, experiment with different strategies, and even fail publicly. That takes guts. But it's also incredibly liberating because it frees him from the pressure of always needing to be right or perfect.
So it's like he's treating life as one big experiment, always tweaking and adjusting based on what he learns along the way.
Exactly.
That's a pretty cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
But let's get to the really juicy stuff. How he used this agent GPT thing to gain 100,000 followers in less than a month.
This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Agent GPT is basically like having an AI assistant that helps you manage your social media.
Mm-hmm.
You feed it information about your brand, your target audience, and the kind of content you want to create.
So it's like having a super smart intern who never sleeps and is obsessed with analyzing data.
Pretty much.
That sounds awesome, but how does it actually work in practice?
It's all about that feedback loop.
Uh.
Dom starts by giving Agent GPT a bunch of data about himself and his brand.
Mm-hmm.
Then the AI suggests content ideas like tweets, Instagram posts, even video scripts.
Okay.
But here's the key. Dom doesn't just blindly post whatever the AI spits out.
He's not just hitting the autopilot button and letting the AI run wild.
It's exactly. He takes those AI-generated ideas and refines them, adding his own unique voice personality and insights. He's basically using the AI as a brainstorm partner and creative sounding board. Then he analyzes how the content performs, sees what resonates with his audience, and feeds those insights back into the AI.
Oh, so it's learning.
Yeah, so it's this constant cycle of learning and refinement with both Dom and the AI getting smarter over time.
And that's how he's able to create content that's both engaging and aligned with his overall message. He's not just chasing vanity metrics, he's focused on building a genuine connection with his audience.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture, but there's one thing I'm still curious about.
Yeah.
Is Dom just giving commands to this AI, or is there more to their relationship?
It's more of a collaboration, really. He's constantly feeding it new information, refining its outputs, and essentially shaping its personality to align with his own. It's like he's training a digital version of himself.
So it's not just a question and answer thing.
Yeah,
It's a back and forth exchange where both Dom and the AI are learning and evolving together.
yeah. Fascinating. But let's talk about the money.
Okay.
You've got amazing content. You're growing your audience. How do you turn that into a sustainable business?
Dom has a simple but powerful philosophy.
Okay.
You need a button. What he means is you need a clear call to action, a way for your followers to take the next step and invest in what you offer.
So it's not enough to just have a bunch of followers scrolling through your feed.
Right.
You need to give them a way to engage deeper, to become customers or clients.
Exactly.
But how do you create these buttons in a way that feels authentic and doesn't come across as salesy?
Dom's approach is all about providing value at different levels.
Okay.
He's got multiple buttons at various price points, so there's something for everyone.
Oh, nice.
He offers one-on-one consultant for those who want personalized guidance. He's got online courses for people who prefer a more structured learning experience. And he's even built custom GPTs for businesses that need tailored AI solutions.
So it's like a choose your own adventure for monetization?
Yeah. With options for every budget and level of commitment.
Exactly.
But there's one part of Dom's story that I think is really important to highlight.
Okay.
He talks about this $1 million in 100 days challenge and how it almost led him astray.
Ah, yes. This is a great example of how the pressure to succeed can sometimes make you lose sight of what truly matters. Dom got caught up in the hype of this challenge and started creating content that wasn't really aligned with his core message.
It's like he was chasing the shiny object instead of staying true to his values.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Dom realized he was heading down the wrong path and had the courage to course correct. He abandoned the challenge and refocused on building genuine connections with his audience.
He basically said, screw the $1 million, I'd rather stay true to myself.
Pretty much.
And I think that's a really powerful lesson, especially in a world where everyone's obsessed with quick wins and overnight success.
100%. It's a reminder that authenticity and integrity are ultimately more valuable than any short-term gain.
Yeah.
Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, this is all great for Dom, but how does this apply to ME? I'm not an influencer. I don't have a massive following, and I'm not trying to build $1 million business.
Right. Like, how can the average person actually use this AI stuff to create better content and, maybe even make some money in the process?
That's a great question, and it's something Dom addresses directly. He says, the key is to start with understanding the value you bring to the table. What unique knowledge, skills, or experiences do you have that others might find valuable?
So it's about identifying your strengths, your passions, and the things you're genuinely good at.
Exactly.
But then how do you actually translate those into content that people want to consume?
That's where AI can come in as your secret weapon.
Yeah.
Think of it as your brainstorm buddy, your research assistant, and your content editor all rolled into one delay. It can help you come up with ideas, structure your content, and even refine your writing style.
So instead of feeling intimidated by AI, we can actually use it to our advantage.
Exactly. And one of the most practical ways to do that is by using AI to create templates based on content that's already performing well. Find creators in your niche whose work you admire and analyze their content. What are the patterns, the hooks, the structures that make their content engaging?
So you're basically reverse engineer their success.
Precisely. Then you can feed those templates into your AI and ask it to generate similar content, but tailored to your unique voice and brand.
So it's like you're getting a head start using the AI to help you create content that's more likely to resonate with your audience. But let's be realistic, even with AI's help, creating content can still be a lot of work.
Absolutely. But remember, it's a process. And it's okay to start small. Maybe you start by using AI to help you write better captions for your social media posts, or maybe you use it to generate ideas for your next blog article.
The point is to experiment, find what works for you, and gradually integrate AI into your workflow.
And as you get more comfortable with it, you can start exploring more advanced applications like using AI to create video scripts or even entire courses.
Now, for those of you who are thinking about monetizing your content, Dom has some great advice. He says, get a button. But what does that actually mean in practice?
It means creating clear calls to action for your audience. How can they take the next step and invest in what you offer?
So it's about giving them a way to go deeper to get more value from you.
Exactly. And there are tons of ways to do this. You could offer one-on-one consultations, online courses, memberships to exclusive communities, or even custom-built GPTs for businesses.
But Dom emphasizes that it's not just about throwing up a bunch of buy now buttons.
Right.
It's about building trust with your audience and offering them something they genuinely value.
He also stresses the importance of transparency and authenticity. Don't be afraid to share your journey, your struggles, and even your failures with your audience.
People connect with realness. They want to see the human behind the brand. But what about those of us who are just starting out and haven't quite found our button yet?
Yeah.
What advice does Dom have for building an audience and getting our content seen?
First and foremost, he says, it's about providing value. If you're genuinely helping people, the followers and the monetization will eventually follow.
So focus on creating content that solves problems, answers questions, or simply entertains your audience.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment with different formats and platforms. Try blogging, podcast, and video creation, social media, whatever feels most natural to you.
But what if you're putting in the work, creating great content, but still not seeing much traction?
That's where patience and persistence come in. Building an audience takes time and consistent effort.
Don't get discouraged if you don't become an overnight sensation.
And remember, AI can be a valuable tool for analyzing your content's performance and identifying areas for improvement. Use it to track your metrics, see what's resonating with your audience, and adjust your strategy accordingly.
So it's a constant process of learning, adapting, and refining your approach. But ultimately, the most important thing is to stay true to yourself and your unique voice.
Because in a world where AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated, authenticity is what will truly set you apart.
So let's take a moment to reflect. What are some of the key takeaways from Dom's story that have really resonated with you so far?
Yeah, for me, it's that reminder to embrace the unconventional path. Like, who would have thought that a waffle stand entrepreneur would become a leading voice in AI?
Yeah.
It shows you that you don't have to follow the traditional roadmap to achieve success.
And it's inspiring to see how he uses his platform to empower others.
Yeah.
He's not just talking about AI, he's showing people how to actually use it to create a better future for themselves.
He's walking the walk, not just talking the talk, which
Mm.
brings us to that crucial question we've been circling around.
Yeah.
How do we stay valuable in a world where AI is becoming more and more capable?
It's a question we all need to be asking ourselves. What sets us apart from the algorithms?
Yeah.
What uniquely human skills will become even more valuable as technology advances?
Right, because it's not about competing with AI. It's about figuring out how we can work alongside it, leveraging its strengths while honing our own. Absolutely. And yeah, I think Dom's story offers some important clues. He emphasizes the power of human connection, creativity, and adaptability. These are qualities that AI, at least for now, can't replicate.
So in a way, AI is pushing us to become even more human, to double down on those things that make us unique. Our empathy, our intuition, our ability to connect with others on a deeper level.
Precisely, and that's something to keep in mind as you explore the world of AI and content creation. Don't just focus on the technical aspects.
Yeah.
Think about how you can use AI to amplify your unique voice and make a meaningful impact on the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder. If AI can learn and adapt at such an incredible pace, what does it mean for us to stay valuable in the long term? What human skills, qualities, or even values do you think will become even more important in the years to come?
That's the million-dollar question, and one we encourage you to explore further. Until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.